Most people think longevity is about adding things, more supplements, more hacks, more effort. But longevity does not come from adding more. It comes from sending the right signals in the right order. Your body does not age because time passes. It ages because repair signals weaken and stress signals dominate. If you want longevity, you need a system that repeatedly sends a clear biological message: energy efficiency, structural strength, cellular cleanup, and nervous system safety. Think of it as a formula. If one part is missing, the equation fails. The first signal is mitochondrial renewal. Mitochondria are not static batteries. They're adaptive systems that respond to how you move. Low-intensity, steady movement is the strongest signal for mitochondrial regeneration. This is often called Zone 2 training. You move at a pace where breathing is calm, conversation is possible, and effort feels sustainable. When maintained long enough, this tells mature mitochondria to recycle, improve fat metabolism, increase oxygen efficiency, and reduce inflammation. This is not exercise for burning calories. This is exercise for teaching your cells to invest in long-term energy again. The second signal is structural strength. Muscle is not optional for longevity. It is protective tissue. From around the age of 30, humans lose muscle mass at a rate of roughly 3 to 6% per decade if they do not train against resistance. This loss accelerates with inactivity, stress, and poor nutrition. Loss of muscle mass is not cosmetic. It leads to insulin resistance, joint instability, higher injury risk, reduced metabolic rate, and loss of independence later in life. Leg strength is especially important. Research consistently shows that leg strength is one of the strongest predictors of overall longevity and cognitive performance. Stronger legs are associated with better brain function, slower cognitive decline, and a lower risk of neurodegenerative disease. Your legs are not just for movement, they're deeply connected to brain health. Strength training preserves muscle mass, stabilizes blood sugar, supports hormones, protects joints, and slows biological aging. But strength training also sends a deeper signal. Controlled resistance combined with breath tells the nervous system that the body is capable and safe. This physical signal helps release stored tension and trauma that cannot be resolved cognitively alone. For many people, this is why strength training reduces anxiety, improves mood, and restores a sense of agency more effectively than talking alone. Longevity requires a body that feels strong, not just active. The third signal is recovery and nervous system regulation. If stress signals remain high, repair signals are ignored. Sunlight, gentle movement, stretching, Pilates, and slow transitions activate the parasympathetic nervous system. This is the state where digestion, repair, and regeneration actually occur. Sleep anchors the entire system. Humans are circadian beings. Sleeping at the right time matters more than sleeping longer at the wrong time. Most adults need around 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Deep sleep is when growth hormone rises, inflammation drops, and cellular repair accelerates. No longevity system works without sleep alignment. The fourth signal is mental coherence. Meditation is not one technique. It is one outcome. Across different practices, effective meditation shows the same pattern on brain scans. Different regions of the brain synchronize and activate together. For some people, this happens in stillness. For others, through music, creative focus, or rhythmic movement such as dancing. Meditation is not doing nothing. It is replacing fragmentation with coherence. Social connection is part of this signal. Not constant interaction, but meaningful, safe relationships. Longevity research consistently shows that humans age faster when they feel unsafe or isolated, even if they are surrounded by people. Quality matters more than quantity. The fifth signal is reduction of artificial stress. Constant digital stimulation trains the brain to seek dopamine without effort. This fragments attention, disrupts sleep, increases stress hormones, and accelerates cognitive aging. A nervous system locked into constant novelty does not repair well. Reducing digital overload is not optional if longevity is the goal. The sixth signal is cellular cleanup. This is where fasting comes in. Fasting is not starvation, it is maintenance mode. Even gentle interval fasting lowers insulin, activates the autophagy, and allows damaged cellular components to be recycled. Longer fasts can amplify this effect when used carefully, but even simple daily fasting already improves metabolic flexibility. Once these signals are in place, nutrition becomes the stabilizer of the entire equation. This is where keto-vegan nutrition fits into the formula. Ketosis reduces inflammation, stabilizes blood sugar, and improves mitochondrial efficiency. Avoiding animal products further reduces inflammatory load, oxidative stress, and cardiovascular risk. A well-designed keto-vegan high-protein diet combines both effects: metabolic stability through ketosis and reduced inflammatory signaling through plant-based nutrition. Food is information. This combination sends a calm, low-noise signal that supports every other longevity mechanism. One more correction is necessary. In the modern world, supplementation is required regardless of diet. Yes, a vegan diet requires nutrients such as vitamin B12, but due to depleted soils, industrial farming, indoor living, and chronic stress, people who eat meat are also frequently deficient. Our ancestors did not need supplements because their environment matched their biology. Ours does not. Supplements are not a failure of nutrition, they're a correction for a mismatched world. Used intelligently, they support mitochondrial function, brain health, and long-term resilience. There are people who have measurably reduced their biological age by applying nearly all of these principles, not through hacks, through alignment. This is not new. Our genes are still wired for a hunter-gatherer pattern: low-intensity movement, occasional strength, natural fasting, sunlight, strong social bonds, sleep in rhythm with nature. But our ancestors were limited by their environment. They depended heavily on meat and had no way to reduce chronic inflammation or cardiovascular risk. We can keep the signals without repeating the limitation. That is the upgrade. This is the secret formula for longevity. Not hacks, not extremes, alignment. And when it comes to nutrition, keto-vegan is simply the version of this formula that reduces inflammation, stabilizes metabolism, and supports long-term health. Keto and vegan. Work. Simple, fast, delicious. Subscribe for more keto-vegan longevity content. Make no compromises.